whether you agree with this guy or not. He laid down some points you can't just ignore.
All right, hey, I wanted to make a quick video about what's going on in the world of politics, especially when it comes to much of the world, much of our country attacking President Trump for his recent tweets about the Democratic Squad, this group of ladies that is quite honestly hell-bent on destroying this country and then rebuilding it into this social utopia that they all want it to be. Here's the deal. President Trump, keep doing what we elected you to do, sir. We elected you to fight for this country. We elected you to fight for us, those of us that felt like we had been forgotten. And that's exactly what you're doing. You know, I don't want Ilhan Omar here either. And you know what? It has nothing to do with her skin color. It has nothing to do with who she prays to or what her country of origin is. You know what it has to do with? It has to do with how she's behaved since she's got here. It has to do with what comes out of her mouth. Because when I listen to her, I don't feel any gratitude. I don't hear any gratitude. I don't hear a love for this country. I don't hear any respect for this country. And I certainly don't want to see somebody that wants to assimilate to our values. And that's the key. You know what? I don't care if you look like you are fresh off the scene of Frozen. I don't care if you're from Finland, Scandinavia, Denmark, or France. If you come here and you act like she has acted and shown such a disdain for our country, I don't want you here. All right. Now, I'm not saying that we need to kill these people. I'm not saying that we need to lock them up and throw them in jail, because that too is not the American way. But we need to get off our asses and we need to defeat these folks because they are destroying this country from the inside out. I'm going to tell you guys something that President Trump realizes that a lot of you don't. I also realize it as a former Navy SEAL myself. I'm going to tell you guys something that's profound. Okay, listen up. Here we go. The greatest enemy that this country faces, it's not Iran, it's not North Korea, it's not Russia, it's not even the Chinese. The greatest enemy that this country faces is within. And these are the representatives of the greatest enemy that this country faces. You know why? Because they don't love this country. Okay, they don't love our founding documents. They don't love our framework. They don't love our Constitution. They are literally trying to destroy this country every single day, right? And I want to talk to you conservatives out there, you Republicans, and even you Christians out there. A lot of you guys, you know what you've done? You've mistaken passivity for love and kindness. That's right. I'll say it again. You have mistaken passivity for love and kindness. Okay? Here's the deal. You don't have to agree with someone to love someone. It's just like with your kids. Sometimes the best love is tough love when you say, hey, don't touch that iron. It's hot. Hey, don't lie to people. Things aren't going to go well for you, right? It's the same thing here, but we've gotten to the point where we're so afraid of being called out for being called a racist, a homophobe, a xenophobe, that many of us in the silent majority would rather just let stuff like this go unsaid and then pile on the agreement wagon and agree with everybody saying that President Trump is a racist. He's not a racist. He never has been a racist. Matter of fact, there were no one was saying he was a racist until he became president and he started fighting against, these elites in Washington, D.C. and these elites in Hollywood, okay? So here's the deal, guys. Look inside your heart. Do you think that you're better than some other group of people because of the color of your skin? I know most of you don't. Yeah, I know there's a few people out there that, are really confused and think that they are better than somebody. Hey, let's not even worry about them. They're such a small population. Most of us don't believe that. Okay? Most of us just disagree with how these folks come here and they act. Merle Haggard wrote a song about this a long time ago. He said, they love our milk and honey, but they preach about some other way of living it, right? That's what's going on here. And President Trump, he doesn't want it. He says, hey, don't come here from your broken ass country with your backwards culture and try and tell us how to, and don't try and bring it here and change our culture. Because what you're going to do is you're going to change the foundation. You're going to change this country and we're not going to be prosperous anymore. That's what he's saying. And I am 100% in agreement with him. If you are an immigrant, if you live somewhere else, you want to come here, you want to respect this country, you want to love this country, you want to assimilate to our culture and be part of the solution and not the problem. I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you pray to. And I don't care what country of origin you come from. Come one, come all. We'll welcome you with open arms. But if you act like she has, we do not want you here. And that doesn't make us racist. That actually makes us patriots. And that actually makes us smart. God bless this country. God bless Donald Trump. This guy is out there every single day taking the slings and arrows of not only people on the left trying to destroy this country, but from cowards in his own party. That's right, who have mistaken passivity for love and for kindness. I'm out.
So here's the situation. President Trump sends out a tweet criticizing the squad, Omar, AOC, Tlaib, Presley, and Bam. Half the media instantly screams racism, like it's a reflex at this point. Doesn't matter what he says, the headline is already pre-printed. Meanwhile, Crane steps in and basically says, "Look, Trump," doing what he was elected to do. And honestly, whether you love Trump or hate Trump, you know exactly what he was hired for, to fight, to call things out, to punch back. Crane's whole point is that a lot of Americans felt forgotten, ignored, or just talked down to by the political class. And whether you agree with him or not, he's right about one thing: that frustration didn't come out of nowhere. One of Crane's strongest critiques wasn't even aimed at the squad, it was aimed at conservatives. He says too many people mistake passivity for kindness. That being quiet in the face of accusations, racism, xenophobia, whatever, isn't virtuous, it's surrender. And honestly, there's a reason that resonates. Cancel culture made people scared to speak. Ordinary disagreement gets turned into a moral crime. And when that happens, the loudest radicals dominate the narrative. Crane is basically saying, stop being scared to speak up. Strength isn't hatred. Tough love is still love. So what's the takeaway from all this? Here's the reality. America is in a cultural tug-of-war, and both sides believe they're fighting for the soul of the country. On one side, you have people who believe America is fundamentally flawed, so flawed it needs to be rebuilt from scratch. They see the Constitution as outdated, traditions as obstacles, and patriotism as something naive or even dangerous. On the other side, you have people who believe America can improve, but that its foundation is worth protecting. They see the Constitution not as a relic, but as the reason the country has survived, thrived, and become a place millions want to move to. This isn't a debate about race. It's not a debate about religion. It's not even a debate about Trump. It's a debate about identity, what America is, what it stands for, and who gets to define it. Eli Crane's message, agree with it, disagree with it, critique it, isn't about banning people or silencing them. It's about asking a question we've somehow become afraid to ask. Do the people in power actually like the country they're leading? Because if the answer is no, then voters have every right to say, then why are you running it? This is where the conversation needs to go, not into accusations, not into identity battles, but into a real debate about values, about the framework of the nation, about gratitude, unity, assimilation, and whether America's story is worth preserving. And if we can't have that conversation without shouting each other down, then the real threat was never from the outside. It was always the division within. If you made it this far, hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, keep it respectful, and subscribe for more commentary. Thanks for watching, and God bless.